Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. I'm bringing it back. I'm kicking it old school. That's when you go to where you used to go to school when you were a kid, and you go kick the wall. That's called kicking it old school. When I thought about this, I thought, well, you know what? Hey, let's bring back some episodes from the past, some things that, have been covered in the past, but still bring value. They're unnumbered episodes. We called them Daily Daves back in the day. And because we're doing a daily podcast every day this year, every episode's a Daily Dave. So really, why not bring back something that hasn't had a lot of plays recently because it's older and it's probably fallen out of coolness. But I'm bringing it back like the 80s right now. I'm bringing it back because the 80s were really cool and the music was the best. Come for me. But yeah, I'm bringing one back of my episodes that talks about the fact that your comments have like a whole world in them. And that I think as podcasters, we don't invest enough time in the comments, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, online or DMs, whatever. People are leaving you a world of engagement, and it goes unchecked. It goes on. People don't even realize that even if you're not hosted on Spotify for creators, you have a whole world there where people are leaving you comments, talking about the episode. And when I talk to people, I'm like, have you been in your Spotify comments lately? They're like, I didn't even know there was any. I'm like, we have this whole world around us, and it's time for us to engage. And I think that the whole idea of a parade, you can either have somebody else start it for you and you join it in progress, or you can just start your own. Start your own parade by getting in there and talking to your audience and create the atmosphere. That's kind of the point of this episode. So here we go. It's a flashback for Dave, a younger, less gray-haired version of Dave. Here you go. Here's the episode where we talk about starting the parade or joining one, living in the comments to build genuine connections in podcasting. Here you go. Hi, I'm Dave. One thing, I have 9 podcasts, so I have to preface everything by saying that up front. Not to brag, but just to give you context, to create like blogs and video clips and social media assets and on and on and on and on and on for 9 podcasts, while doing all my own interviewing, while doing all my guest booking, by doing all my website design, creating an online magazine, and doing everything, all my editing, everything on my own. I'm a team of 1, just me, just Dave. The idea of going and creating content on top of everything else I'm doing is a little much. And if I only had one show, I would tell you I'd be doing things considerably differently. So if you only have one podcast, I say only, like it's rare. For those who don't have 9, then there's some things you could do to definitely get yourself out there. But if time is your enemy and you have life or 9 podcasts, why don't you take your pick, and you can't really get into actually doing all the things to make your show grow, then I have a suggestion for you. And I want you to think of a parade, okay? Pick your favorite holiday parade that you would go to. And there you have 2 options when you go to a parade. First of all, you could be the one that starts the parade. You're the parade marshal. You get to sit in a convertible car and wear a $10 crown, and you're the marshal of the parade. Congratulations. This was all my idea, everyone. And you get all the praise as you go down the street at like 1 mile an hour, and people wave at you, and you throw candy at people and try to peck them off in the head. You could be the parade marshal and be the one who starts the parade, creates the content, creates the conversation, builds a community. You're out there just creating the atmosphere of this parade all around what you do. Or you could be the one who steps out of the crowd and joins the parade, and you benefit from someone else's hard work. And you just show up and participate in the parade. A parade where there's only one person in the parade is not a parade. But when people join in the parade and catch on to the vision and all join in and be a part of this, that's when a parade becomes a parade. So if you don't have people following you, you're out for a walk. there's no one following you. You want people to follow along and participate and be active in your community. And to have that, you have to have people who are active in your community. So when time is your enemy as a podcaster, and you're like, Dave, I can't do all the things, and I can't do them all well, then my suggestion to you here on this Daily Dave is for you to then leverage community. Leverage the opportunity in front of you to be in someone else's community, not to go and steal people. That's not the point of this. The point of this is for you to be active and for you to show up and just be part of what's going on, to join the parade. You don't have to start the parade. You can just join one already in progress. And that's what I love about being in the comments. Now, what do I mean about this? When I'm talking like YouTube comments, one of the things I encourage all my guests for my author podcast, your episode goes live on YouTube. It's an audio-only podcast, and I know there's gurus who are throwing things at the wall right now because they're hearing me talk about this. It's an audio-only podcast. And according to everything written and spoken about YouTube, YouTube has to be video. I have a totally different strategy on YouTube, and I do audio only as an advanced listen to my guests. And also for my audience who wants to hear what I'm doing in real time, they can jump over to my YouTube and see what's coming like 2 months from now because of how many episodes I have. It's my workaround. It's the internet has access to my Google Drive. That's basically how I treat YouTube. I don't work for YouTube. YouTube works for me. So in that, I've been able to get some amazing results from my YouTube channel. Over 2,000 watch hours for an audio-only podcast. Interesting. But what I'm doing is I'm using my YouTube channel as a way to get things to the world faster. But what I'm encouraging all my guests to do is to jump in the comments for their episode. Because the people talking in the comment section for that particular conversation, for that episode, for that guest, are people that are interested in that guest. So all of a sudden, here comes the guest featured in that episode into the comments, and the guest doesn't need me, and my listeners don't need me. They can talk directly to the guest now, and a conversation unfolds in the comments. And you know what YouTube loves? People talking in the comments. That there's a reason why there's a way to comment on the videos, unless you shut off the comments, which I don't. But you can get in and talk to each other in the comments, and that's what I love. So jump into somebody else's hard work. Benefit from someone else's community by simply showing up, by simply being the person who comes and adds value. So there's a Podmatch community because I use Podmatch for some of my guests. And with Podmatch community, I have access to get in and talk to other Podmatch group members. And we have our own little chat and topics. It's funny, though, because I'm kind of the guy that comes in with the simple approach, with the non-expensive approach to questions around podcasting. And I think I'm driving people nuts. I think I'm making people upset with me because they're like, you got to get the best thing. You need the best mic. You got to have this paid platform for recording your podcast. You need this video clips. You need the thing. You need the thing. And I just come in and go, well, I'm doing it this way and it works really well. I get this counterbalance. I'm not doing it out of spite, but I just want people to see that there's not just one way to podcast. So the bare bones of why this show exists, there's not one way to podcast. So jump in the comments and some practical tips for you as a podcaster on how you can leverage someone else's community when you jump into the comments. First of all, be genuine. Avoid giving out generic comments or bad advice. Show your perspective, offer a resource, or relate your own experience to the topic in the comments. And it's more about consistency, you showing up on a consistent basis, than how loud you are in the comments. I see a lot of podcast gurus who are super loud and super inconsistent. They're there randomly, and when they come in the room, they take over the room. I hate it. I don't like it because it feels really gross. Leverage every existing community that you can find. Join podcast forums, Facebook groups, or comment on industry leaders' posts. They're going to see it. And track your engagement. Note which communities or threads generate the most meaningful connections and interactions for you, and then focus on those communities over the ones where you never get a result. Those are some simple things that you can do as podcasters. Be genuine, be consistent, don't be loud. Leverage existing communities. Go where people already are. Instead of trying to create a parade from nothing, go join the parade in progress and track your engagement. Are you getting any return on investment for your time? By simply showing up in the comments of your favorite creator and their community, you bring value. And come in with a genuine heart that you do want to serve. You're not there to take over the group. You're not there to give out bad advice. You're not out there to hurt anybody. You're there to build up people. And get to the point where people are like, who is this guy? Who is this woman? Who is this person in my comments? And why are they so active? And why are they so kind? You're going to create an atmosphere of people being curious about you because you're a curious person. And all you do is bring value. By bringing value, showing up on a regular basis, you create an atmosphere where people want to hear from you and they want to work with you because all you do is show up and bring value. So that's my challenge for you this week. You don't have time to create that Instagram reel. You don't have time to do the stories and the thing and 10 YouTube shorts. And, oh yeah, you can get a software that does this all for you, but it's crap. The stuff it gives you is just crap. So instead of focusing on all the places you're not, focus on a parade already in process. Join the progress, join the parade, be a part of what's already happening, add value, be supportive, and be somebody that people look forward to seeing you show up in their comments, in their social posts. You're the one who comes in and just makes the place better. That's my challenge for you this week. Pick something, be active, be kind and genuine, and bring value. Bring value to the conversation. Join the parade that's already in progress. You don't need to create your own parade. Just get out there and start talking to people. And be you. And you'll see people will come to you. They'll look for you. They'll search you out. Simply by you creating value. And please, don't just jump into these comments and go, oh, come and check out my podcast. I did an episode about that. No, that's not why you're there. You're there to bring value. You're there to help. And you're there to be a resource. And somebody that people look forward to hearing from. Be that, do that, and let me know how it goes. There you go. That's an older version of Dave. And I still think it holds water. Get in your comments. Get out there and talk to your audience. When people tell me they don't feel like their audience speaks to them, I immediately say, well, what are you doing to make it easy for them to speak to you? And are you initiating the conversation? It's one thing to be sitting in a coffee shop over in the corner and nobody's talking to you and then complaining that nobody's talking to me in the corner here by myself because you're not initiating the conversation. Get up from your seat and go talk to the people that are in the room. Those are the people in your comments. Those are the people in your world. Talk to them. Acknowledge the people who are listening to your show. Hey, I see you in Frankfurt, Germany. It works when you do that. Acknowledge the people that are there. They're not always going to come to you. And only a tiny percentage of your audience are even going to reach out to you. So please initiate the conversation. Start the parade. It's up to you. It's not up to your audience to start the engagement. It's up to you. So begin now. Get it going. Spark the conversation and get people started to talk. And then it's going to build over time. People will keep responding. People will keep showing up because you do. It's up to you to go through that door first and start the conversation. It's all on you. So if you're not seeing the engagement, start your own parade. Thanks for being here. Hey, thanks for sticking around. Appreciate you. We have done some updates to our Buy Me a Coffee page over at buymeacoffee.com. Links in the show notes and on the website and everywhere else. If you're interested, please come and support the show and be a part of our community. We've added membership tiers, which is interesting. It's new. It's kind of like that Patreon place, but without being Patreon, because it's Buy Me a Coffee. And if you want to, you can actually support the show as a one-time support, or you could do it monthly. And we already have our first member, which is thrilling. If you want to join, we have some special treats for you as a member of our community over on Buy Me a Coffee. Love for you to check that out. And links in the show notes. Appreciate you being here. And all of the support that comes into the show gets redistributed out to other podcasters. So we're building the community at the same time. Love to have you be a part of our little group here on How to Podcast series. You are by simply listening. But if you find value in the show and like, I wish I could do something to say thanks to Dave, it's our Buy Me a Coffee page. Please go check it out. Love to have you there. Love to have more time with you as well. buymeacoffee.com. And it's also in the show notes. And if you want to set up your own Buy Me a Coffee, please go check them out. They are great. I think every podcaster should have this as an engagement tool to build that community around your audience. Buymeacoffee.com. Show notes, website, has our link. I'd love for you to come check it out and top up our coffee cup. Because, hey, who doesn't need more coffee? I do. Take care. Thanks for being here. You're still here. Awesome. Okay, so here's something I was talking to a podcaster about. We talked at the beginning. One of the questions I'm going to ask you if we work together, and kind of letting the cat out of the bag here. Apparently that's a thing. Cats are always in bags. When we work together, I'm going to ask you, is your podcast going to be something that you're using as a business or to make money? Or is this a hobby? Is this a passion project? Is it just for fun? Like, what's the intent? What is the finish line for you with this show? And when people say, well, I'm not really considering making money with my podcast, but now that you say it, I can make money with my podcast. And so that curiosity right there is something I want to talk about, because I think if you're going to eventually want to make money with your podcast, whether you're a coach, an author, a musician, or a speaker, whatever that is, or you have a business, or you are a registered charity, there's something that you want to do as far as making money with your show. When you start your show, I would say one of the best practices is to think of how you can create an engagement loop with your audience from day one, so that they're used to you asking for people to do things like, reach out to us, leave us a message. You're building in engagement from the beginning, and people are used to that from episode 1. Even when you have no audience, you build in this loop of people saying, well, they really like when I respond as a listener. By doing that, by building that engagement loop from the beginning, when it does come time for you to flip the switch and say, yeah, I want to put a Buy Me a Coffee, or I want to put my course or my book in front of my audience without it feeling like a shock to their system that all of a sudden I'm asking for something from my audience. When you build it into your content from the beginning, this engagement loop, whatever you put in front of them in the future, you've already established the foundation that I'm going to ask something of you as an audience member. For this show, 710 episodes ago, I started right away with this engagement loop. I'd love to hear from you. I want your feedback. Here's my way of connecting with me. Here's a question for you. Here's something I'm looking for your help with. I wanted to build that into the show from the beginning. And I think that's why my Buy Me a Coffee and my Speak Pipes have been so successful, where other people have really struggled, is I've built in this whole world of, I want to hear from you. I want to connect with you. I want you to know that this costs money to do what I do. And I do this on my days off. This is something I don't get paid to do. I'm not a paid podcaster. I don't have a big company who has bought my show. None of that stuff. It's just me, a guy in his basement with a cat next to him right now. And that's it. And so all this stuff costs me money. Everything you see. And if you're happy with it and you find value in it, then great. I'd love for you to give some of that value back to the show, and then I can redistribute it to other podcasters. That's what I love doing. So build that engagement loop from the beginning. Don't wait until you're 20, 50, 100 episodes in, and then all of a sudden you do this dramatic change to your content, and where you've never asked anything of your audience in the past, all of a sudden you hit them up with something that they're not anticipating. They don't know you for that. So if you're going to be creating income around your show in the future, then I would suggest you build something into your show from the beginning. As simple as, I have a survey, please go out and respond to my survey. When you do that and nobody responds, you don't have a receptive audience yet. You haven't earned the right for a response. So I'm asking you to earn the right for the response by asking for it from the beginning. Even if making money with your show is not top of mind, it might be one day. And if you build it over time, you'll have a better response than if you build it and just spring it on them in the moment. So build with the future in mind. That's one of the questions we're going to talk about when you and I sit down and talk about your show. Whether you're just starting, you've been doing this for a while, howtopodcast.ca. Let's get together and chat and have a virtual coffee and talk about your show. Thanks for being here.